Hi everyone and welcome to NCHC Between the Boards. I'm Greg Ankers. Coming up on tonight's show as we get you ready for another busy weekend in hockey, we'll take a look back at last weekend as NCHC play resumes for some teams for the first time in 2016. We've got all the highlights straight ahead. We'll also take an in-depth look at the Miami Redhawks and take a look at their state of the team through the first half of the season, and we'll preview a pivotal top 10 showdown within the NCHC that's taking place this weekend. But we'll begin, as we always do, with our Spotlight Series. It centers on number 17 Denver and number 6 Omaha, two teams looking to get back into the NCHC race. Denver, a desperate team entering this series with just one win in their last 9 games, while Omaha looked to remain perfect at their new home, Baxter Arena. And it would not take long for the scoring to start in this series. Less than 4 minutes into the first, Denver carrying into the zone. Colin Staub, the great feed here to Will Butcher, who puts it in the back of the net for an early 1-0 Pioneers lead. Take another look at this great feed from Staub to Butcher, putting Omaha in an early deficit. Just seconds after that, though, Denver back on the attack, and Blake Hillman makes this look way too easy, skating in and scoring to make it 2-0 Pioneers on Evan Wenninger. Wenninger would then leave this game midway through the first with an injury, would not return, leaving it to Kurt Thompson to pick up the slack, but Denver would not hold back in the second. Trevor Moore feeding Will Butcher for his second of the game makes it 3-0 Denver. That would be the final score. Omaha 0 for 6 on the power play as they suffer their first loss at Baxter.
I thought we played good in spurts, but our 4 losses, we haven't scored the first goal. So evidently this team's got to figure out if they get behind how to come back. But we had the chances, we had opportunities. Their goaltender made some great saves.
Losing's never fun, but at least we didn't lose playing poorly. I think we came out, we played strong. Their goalie just had some puck luck on his side, and he made some good saves as well. So, if we're gonna lose, I'd rather lose like that.
I thought certainly we had a pretty good effort tonight, but a couple of breakdowns, and next thing you know, the puck's in the net, and now we got Evan hurt, and we don't know how long he's going to be out, and Kirk Thompson and Alex Blankenberg are going to have to do the job.
And it would be Thompson back in net for Omaha on Saturday night. He'd stop all 4 shots in the first period, but in the second, Denver breaks through midway through. The wraparound goal here by Evan Jansen makes it a 1-0 Pioneers lead. 35 seconds after that, Denver again striking quickly after a goal. Gabe Levin waiting for it out on top of the painted area. Gets the goal there to make it 2-0 Denver after 2 in the third. The Pioneers add to their lead. Just over 3 minutes in, Trevor Moore to Danton Heinen, and Heinen finds the soft spot in the D and beats Thompson there for a 3-0 lead. Omaha would finally wake up, though, after that. Just moments later, Justin Parizek with the shot goes off of Steve Spinner out in front, and Omaha's on the board but trailing 3-1. However, 39 seconds after that, here come the Mavericks. Jake Randolph from behind the net is going to beat the goaltender here on a wraparound of his own, and it's a 3-2 game. Later in the third, Denver trying to respond on a power play, and Dylan Gambrill comes up with the rebound effort there to make it 4-2. Omaha, though, would stay resilient and come back at the other end with 4 minutes to go. Mason Morelli scores there to make it 4-3, but that's as close as Omaha could get as Denver holds off the Mavericks, winning it 4-3 and sweeping Omaha for the first time in their brand new building. Straight ahead, we've got more NCHC highlights on the other side of this break, and we could have a new first place team within the NCHC. We'll explore that next. Welcome back. St. Cloud State had an opportunity to jump into first place in the NCHC with their series against Colorado College this past weekend, but standing in their way is a Tigers team that entered having won 4 of their last 6 contests. St. Cloud State would get the early jump on this one on Friday night. 4 minutes in, Mikey Izemont spinning and scoring, beating the goaltender there to make it 1-0 Huskies early on. Later in the period, St. Cloud State back in the attacking zone, and Patrick Russell going to get rewarded out in front from Izemont to make it 2-0 St. Cloud after 1. In the second, Colorado College answering back on a power play off the faceoff just 5 seconds in. Cody Bradley rips one home to make it a 2-1 game, but St. Cloud State holds on to win by that final score, moving them into a first-place tie in the NCHC with North Dakota. On Saturday night, same two teams back at it with the ketchup and mustard look going on Saturday night. 3 minutes into this one, CC strikes first. Teemu Kivihalme with traffic out in front makes it 1-0 Tigers. Later in the period, though, St. Cloud answering back at the other end. Ethan Prow with the initial shot. Rebound goal by David Morley ties things up at 1 apiece. CC keeps the momentum going on their end later on. Look at this play. Jake Emilio with the initial shot. Chaos out in front. Charlie Lindgren doesn't know where the puck is, gets knocked down. And who's on the doorstep but Hunter Feges, who gets the goal to make it 2-1 CC after 1. In the second, CC keeps rolling. Just 2 minutes in, look at the effort here. Diving for it, then the ping pong effort out in front to Tanner Oki. And Oki makes it 3-1 CC. Then midway through the period, Ben Israel gonna pick his spot on Lindgren and score as CC rolls in this one, winning it by a final of 5-2. Big road win. Huskies with 49 shots on goal, disappointed with their effort.
I thought we came ready to play tonight. We had a very good first period. We found ourselves down 2-1, and I don't like how we reacted. They were very opportunistic on their chances. It was one of those games. We could beat ourselves to death to try to, for excuses, but we got beat tonight. Let's bury it, and we got to go back to work now.
Miami entered this past weekend in the middle of a 5-game homestand as they played host to Minnesota Duluth. The Red Hawks looking to turn things around with just 1 win in their last 8 games. The Bulldogs, meanwhile, have just 1 league loss in their last 6 NCHC games to teams not named North Dakota. What would give in Oxford this past weekend? And the opener between these two teams would be as even as they could be. Scoreless after the first, 2:16 into the second. Chase for the loose puck is on, and somehow Chris Joyu gets to it and beats the goalie for a 1-0 Miami lead. In the third, still a 1-0 game. Minnesota Duluth trying to answer back. Tony Cameronese with the goal here, or is it? It would go under review. Take another look. Cameronese just over the shoulder of Jay Williams to tie things up at 1 goal apiece. This one would go all the way to the extra 3-on-3 session. Less than a minute to go, and Louis Belpedio going to play hero, cleaning that one up as this one goes in the books as a 1-1 draw, but Miami does get the bonus point with the overtime win.
Well, we knew it was going to be intense. Our conference, every game is like that. You got to be ready to play. You've got to make strong plays all over the ice. You got to take hits. You got to play defense. You got to take what the game gives you.
Minnesota Duluth would get its offense going in the first period, already up 1-0 on Saturday night. And Tony Cameronese with the second rebound effort there gets the goal to give the Bulldogs a 2-0 lead after 1. In the second, Minnesota Duluth adding to their lead. Dominic Toninato with the goal here to make it 3-0. Then just a couple minutes after that, an error by Miami as the puck gets cleared down into their own zone. Ryan McKay goes to play it and does not get back to his net quick enough as Parker McKay with the goal there makes it 4-0 Duluth. In the third, Miami trying to mount a comeback. Ryan Soroki with the goal to cut the deficit down to 4-2, but they would get no closer as Duluth goes on to win 5-2. So it's 4 points for Duluth on the weekend, 2 points for Miami.
We knew they were going to come in tonight with a lot more intensity than they had in the past or last night, and we just didn't match it. We had times where it was we were really good in their offensive zone, but we were a little bit too complacent, and there wasn't enough consistency in our game, and they took advantage of that tonight.
Yeah, even though the third period they had the puck a little bit more, but we didn't give them a lot. So, again, it's a little bit more of a focus to continue to be, better defensively, and I think if we do that, we're going to continue to get offensive chances. And all I know is we had a really good weekend of hockey. I thought we played well. We came out in the first period on Saturday and did what we had to do and got an early lead and didn't look back. And it was nice to score some goals after certainly Friday when we only got one. But we're going to probably be in more of the 1-1 games, 2-1 games than the 5-2 games.
Still to come, non-league action for Western Michigan and its exhibition play for North Dakota. That's next as you watch NCHC Between the Boards. Welcome back. Western Michigan and Notre Dame meet for the second time in 5 weeks after they previously collided at the consolation game of the Shillelagh tournament in late November. Notre Dame won that game 3-1, but under Andy Murray, Western Michigan is 5-5-3 all-time against the Irish. And this home-and-home series starting at Notre Dame on Friday night. In the first, Notre Dame already up 1-0, make it 2-0 with the goal here by Sam Herr. The Irish go into the locker room leading 3-0 actually after the first. In the second, more from the Irish. Charging in is Anders Bjork, getting the goal there to make it 4-0 Irish. They would lead this one 7-0. Midway through the third, Western Michigan finally gets on the board. Griffin Molino with the power play goal here, but Notre Dame goes on to win in a rout, 7-1 the final. So that would leave Andy Murray's group looking to regroup itself back at home in Kalamazoo on Saturday night for the series finale. And this one wouldn't go the way of the Broncos early on either. In the first, Dylan Malmquist with the goal here, giving the Irish a 1-0 advantage. They would again build a 3-0 lead in this one, but in the third, here come the Broncos and that effort that Andy Murray talks about all the time. Michael Rebry getting the goal here to make it a 3-1 game. Then a few minutes after that, Western Michigan back on the attack. Sheldon Dries with a big blast from the point, gets by, tips it in out in front, off of the big drive from the point, makes it a 3-2 game. Then off the faceoff with 22 seconds to go, it's Dries again, this time cleaning that one up out in front as this one goes tied 3-3 to overtime. They'd play an exhibition overtime session, which Western Michigan would win. Griffin Molino with the goal there. It does not count, though, as it ends as a 3-3 draw. Western Michigan salvaging something.
It was interesting. We're down 3-0 in the third period, but our morale was great. We talked about continuing to work. We talked about our purpose in the game and what we started out to do tonight, and we stuck with the game.
I mean, that's a character win. We were having chances all night. Their goalie stood on their head for the first 2 periods and even in the third, but we really bared down and luck was on our side.
Exhibition play for North Dakota as they played host to the U.S. Under-18 team in a single game this past weekend, and a final chance for Bradbury to tinker with his line combinations before NCHC play takes over from here on out. And the line combinations put together by UND were on full display early on this past Saturday. North Dakota, as I mentioned, would strike quick just 22 seconds in. Chris Wilkie with the initial shot, wide open on the backside. Joel Janatuinen giving the Fighting Hawks an early 1-0 lead. Just over a minute after that, North Dakota again striking. Paul Ledoux with a big blast that beats the goaltender there for a 2-0 UND advantage. Then, still not even 3 minutes into this one, at the 2:50 mark, Troy Stetcher winds and fires with traffic out in front to make it 3-0 as UND chases the U.S. starting goaltender. Then early in the second, nice play here by Austin Bagansky feeding Drake Kajula for the goal there to make it 4-0. UND rolls in this one. 4-1 would be the final in their final tune-up before NCHC play resumes.
We had a good start, and that's obviously what we want every game. But, it's just getting pucks to the net and having bodies there. That's one thing our coaches harps on, in practice and every game. We got to get pucks to the net and get bodies there, and that's what we got to do throughout the season.
Coming in this game, the mindset of some players could be kind of elsewhere, but we come to the rink every day, expect excellence, and you want to win a national championship. So we expect to win this game, and obviously with the start we had, we proved that we came to play, and it's a confidence builder, obviously heading into next week against Omaha.
These are the individuals being recognized by the NCHC play for their individual efforts this past weekend. Offensive Player of the Week goes to sophomore forward Danton Heinen from Denver, who had 2 goals and an assist in that sweep against Omaha. A couple of his teammates also being recognized, including defenseman Will Butcher. The junior had 2 goals and limited Omaha to just 3 goals all weekend, and also had a +4 rating for the Pioneers. And fellow teammate Dylan Gambrill picks up Rookie of the Week honors. Freshman for Denver had a goal and 3 assists in that sweep over the Mavericks. Colorado College freshman goaltender Jacob Nahama is the goaltender of the week. He made 81 saves on 85 shots in a split against St. Cloud State, good enough for a 2.02 goals against average and a .953 save percentage on the weekend. Checking in on the national poll, starting with the USCHO.com poll, North Dakota holding on to its #1 spot. followed by St. Cloud State at number 5. Omaha drops to 9, while Denver and Minnesota Duluth check in at 14 and 17. The USA Today poll looking very similar. North Dakota checking in at number 2 behind Quinnipiac in this poll. St. Cloud State and Omaha are at 5 and 9, followed by Denver at number 14. The pairwise standings look like this. Yes, that time of the year where these become ultra important to teams looking for postseason play. North Dakota at number 2, St. Cloud State number 3, Omaha number 7, while Denver and Minnesota Duluth are on the outside, looking in or very fringe at this point of the season. The league standings, North Dakota, St. Cloud State remain tied at the top with 27 points. St. Cloud State, though, has played 2 more games than UND to this point. And straight ahead on our program, an in-depth look at Miami's first half and a look at their early path that is to come in the second half. That's next as you watch NCHC Between the Boards. Coming off a Frozen Face-Off Championship last March, expectations were high for the Miami Redhawks going into this season. But it's been nothing but a bumpy ride for the Redhawks as they've mustered just 2 wins through their first 12 league games. Here's a look back at Miami's first half of the season and where they're hoping to go during the second half.
Close games have been the way of things for Miami hockey all season long. All but 3 of the Redhawks' 18 games have been decided by 2 goals or fewer. Early on, those tight decisions seemed to fall the Redhawks' way as they won their first 4 one-goal contest, which was capped by a pair of 2-1 victories over Western Michigan at the start of November, which improved them to 5-4-1 at the time. Wins were harder to come by from there on as a 6-2 setback at NCHC leader North Dakota started a 7-game winless streak where Miami went 0-6-1. While the wins were not coming, every game after that North Dakota loss was a 1-goal game or a tie, and Miami held a lead in all but 2 of those 7 contests. After sitting idle for a month, the Redhawks opened up the 2016 slate with a non-conference home series against RPI last weekend. After dropping a 3-2 decision in the series opener, the Redhawks roared back from a 2-1 third-period deficit to score 3 unanswered goals and post a 4-2 victory to earn a weekend split and snap the aforementioned winless streak.
I thought our game in the third was about as good as it's been in a long time. Thought we started off the game well again. We still made a couple of mistakes there in the middle there, especially in the second. But I thought our guys responded well in the third, and it's a good step forward. Now we got to get better this week and get ready for our next opponent.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've been in a lot of games that are 1 goal, either we're up a goal or down a goal, that we kind of let go these past couple months while we've been in this rut. So we were all pretty determined that we weren't going to let this one get away from us.
We're going to have to really be ready to go, and you know, it's January now, and it's in the meat of the season, and every game you got to play your best to give yourself an opportunity.
We just seem to, focus on all the little details in our game, and just need to bear down, play strong defensively, and work our way out from there.
One potential boost to the lineup may come from sophomore defenseman Louis Belpedio, who returned to Oxford this week after serving as an alternate captain for Team USA, which just captured a bronze medal at the World Junior Championship in Finland.
I thought Louis played, for the most part, played pretty well. You never know those guys coming back, especially a long flight from overseas. We'll see. We'll probably, it'll be a game time decision with Louis. I don't think he gets in until real late Wednesday night, so we'll just have to see how it goes. There's a chance he will play. There's a chance he might not play this weekend. But to go back to U.S. winning a bronze medal, that's huge for our country and obviously for the college hockey players that played on USA. So real good showing for them, and we're proud of Louis, and we'll be glad to have him back.
In addition to its current 5-game homestand, the Redhawks play 9 of their first 11 games of 2016 at Steve Coach Katie Arena, providing a prime opportunity to get things back on track as they try and make their 10th NCAA tournament appearance in the past 11 seasons.
Miami is back up against a fellow in-state rival this weekend. A full preview of all this weekend's action is next. Welcome back. It's a top 10 showdown starting tonight in Grand Forks as Omaha comes to play North Dakota. The Mavericks looking to snap their two-game skid after getting swept for the first time ever in their new Baxter Arena this past weekend, while North Dakota looks to remain red hot, but they know they're going to have their hands full this weekend.
It's going to be huge for us. I mean, every weekend's going to be a tough weekend against any team in this league, so we got to be ready against Omaha. They're going to be coming with a little firepower after having a tough weekend last weekend against Denver, so we got to be ready right from the drop of the puck on Friday.
I think we play pretty similar. You know, they're a pretty offensively minded team. They've got some forwards that can definitely score, but that being said, I think you know, we definitely have some forwards that can do the same.
In addition to number 9 Omaha and number 1 North Dakota this weekend, here are the other NCHC matchups. Number 5 St. Cloud State is at number 17 Minnesota Duluth. That should be a very interesting matchup this weekend as well. Other NCHC play features Western Michigan at number 14 Denver, and in non-conference action, number 16 Bowling Green is at Miami in a one-game showdown this weekend. We'll recap all of those games next week here on the show. Hope you enjoy the hockey action this weekend. We'll see you next time on NCHC Between the Boards. Thanks for watching.